Welcome into WTOL 11 News at 6. I'm Michael Sandlin. Thank you so much for joining us. Got a lot of hot weather ahead, so let's go ahead and get things over to meteorologist John Birchfield. John?
Well, the heat's not going anywhere. In fact, the next 2 days could be record temperatures as we surge to the mid to upper 90s, and that feels like our heat index ranging from 100 to 105 as our string of weather impact alert days continues. It is already going to be in the upper 70s at daybreak Monday morning. Afternoon highs are going to be surging to the mid 90s, and that smaller number, that is the heat index that is likely to be in the triple digits. Another toasty day on Tuesday, and the next 4 days we have 2 more alert days with the chance for midweek storms. I'll have your full 10-day forecast coming up in just a bit.
All right, John, we'll see you then. A teenager is dead following an early morning shooting in West Toledo. Crews were called to the 5800 block of Dixon Avenue just after 5:30 a.m. Toledo police detectives say 17-year-old Darius Washington was found shot. Washington was rushed to the hospital where he later died of his injuries. The Lucas County coroner later determined that Washington had suffered from multiple gunshot wounds. Anyone with information is asked to call or text Crime Stoppers at 419-255-1111. You can remain anonymous and may be eligible for a reward. The Monroe County Sheriff's Office is investigating a hit and run that critically injured 2 pedestrians in Frenchtown Township. The crash happened around Friday night on North Dixie Highway near I-75. Authorities say a blue Ford sedan struck the victims before fleeing the scene. The driver had reportedly been driving erratically before the crash. Investigators are asking for help locating the vehicle as the case remains under investigation. Anyone with information is asked to call the Monroe County Sheriff's Office Traffic Services Division. Former Ohio State football player Kirk Barton is in jail. He's charged with aggravated vehicular homicide for a crash this weekend that killed a man. Here's what we know so far. Around 3 a.m. Saturday, Dublin police officers were called to West Bridge Street in historic Dublin for a crash. Court records show Kirk Barton was driving a Ford pickup truck the wrong way on U.S. Route 33. Barton then turned around and sped in the correct direction on West Bridge Street. That's when he hit a Lexus driven by 24-year-old Ethan Perry. Officers pronounced Perry dead at the scene. Records say Barton admitted to drinking alcohol before the crash. Here in Toledo, a 68-year-old man was taken to the hospital after a motorcycle crash in South Toledo. Toledo police say Dennis Chesser was riding north on the Anthony Wayne Trail just before 8 a.m. when his bike went off the road and struck a curb, causing him to lose control. Chesser was rushed to the hospital with life-threatening injuries, according to police. Police are continuing to investigate the crash.
And record heat likely for the next couple of days. Temperatures in the mid 90s and a heat index in the triple digits when we see relief from the heat coming up next. Record heat possible Monday and Tuesday as our stretch of alert days continues. Temperatures in the mid-90s could challenge century-old records, and the feels like are the heat index from 100 to 105. Current temperatures are still hovering in the mid-90s, and if you scan that QR code, you can get the latest on when relief may be in sight. Temperatures even in southern Michigan have surged as high as 95 in Monroe. High pressure overhead is keeping sunshine around without any rain or thunderstorm chances, and record heat is going to be likely for your Monday with temperatures around 97 degrees. Here's a look at the hour-by-hour planner. Already in the mid to upper 70s at the break of dawn, and afternoon highs surging well into the mid-90s. That hour-by-hour forecast: a mild and humid morning, afternoon temperatures in the mid-90s, and the next 4 days, that alert day continues into your Tuesday, still very hot with record heat possible. Into the middle of the week, there will be some scattered storm chances and potentially a lake breeze Wednesday, which could provide a little bit of reprieve. So here's where we stand looking at the records versus the forecast. Likely to be a record high both Monday and Tuesday, and Wednesday's record, needless to say, is not going to get shattered. This high pressure system or ridge in the jet stream continuing to produce hot conditions, and it is going to stay very warm through the end of June. Some scattered thunderstorm chances next weekend and a cooler start to July. Michael?
All right, thanks, John. And as the hot summer weather continues to cover our area, remember, your furry friends also need to beat the heat. Experts say when it's 90 degrees outside, the pavement can be upwards of 120 degrees. A trick to checking the temperature is to put your palm to the pavement. If it's too hot for you, then it's definitely too hot for your pet. Additionally, vets say you should always adjust your pet's time outdoors and keep water readily available. Overheating can happen in 15 minutes or less in extreme heat.
Older pets, pets that are overweight, pets that have a short nose, pets with a thick coat are more susceptible to heat stroke quicker than animals with, not a thick coat or at an ideal weight and aren't young or old.
Vets say warning signs that your pet may be suffering from heat stroke or heat exhaustion include abnormal behaviors such as throwing up, foaming at the mouth, or being lethargic. Toledo families, first responders, and local nonprofits gathered at the Incredible Entertainment Center in South Toledo this afternoon to bowl for a purpose. It's all part of Bowl and Bond, a community event raising money for Open Arms Transformation Living, a nonprofit committed to supporting homeless and at-risk teens. And the best part, Incredible donated 20% of all proceeds from today's event to WTOL, a real strike for building a better future for kids in the Glass City. And tonight is the night. It's the championship. The Indiana Pacers will be taking on the Oklahoma City Thunder in Oklahoma for Game 7 of the NBA Finals, making it only the 5th Game 7 in Finals history in over 30 years. Tonight's matchup comes after the Pacers tied the series on Thursday, beating the Thunder 108-91. Tip-off is tonight at 8 p.m. Coming up, Toledo dancers turned up the heat and cooled off in style at Glass City Metro Park this afternoon. We went to go see some of the performance. Local dancers are finding a fun way to beat the heat. Latin Dance Toledo held a free dance class underneath the rain towers at Glass City Metro Park this afternoon. The water spray kept students and instructors cool while during their fiery salsa dancing. The class was also a collaboration between the dance school and the parks. And if you'd like to try, they're holding more free classes in the park on the 6th and 20th of July. Well, that looks pretty
Honestly,
nice
a great idea.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm sure those splash pads were busy today.
I'm sure they were. I hope everyone's staying cool, and we'll see you again for our full show coming up tonight at 11. Take care.